This course gives you access to something most PMP students are never see, a hidden playbook. It is the tacit knowledge that lives behind every tool, every technique, and every process. The subtle thinking that PMI expects you to absorb. It is this knowledge rooted in real-world projects, in the judgment of seasoned project managers, and in the lived experiences of the experts who help design the exam itself. PMI expects you to master more than terminology. They want you to understand the best practices, the hard-won lessons, and the insights drawn from project veterans, including the PMI volunteers who design the exam questions. I have distilled all of that into a set of tools that I call the PMP points of view. You will meet them later in the course once we have built the foundation to appreciate them. And when you do, everything will snap perfectly into place, like a humongous jigsaw puzzle. And that's the moment you will stop choosing just correct answers and you will start choosing the best ones. Master this, and the certification becomes a reflection of your insight, not just your effort. But before we get to that final section, we have to travel through the real engine of this course: 10 project case studies, over 350 lessons, and every process in the PMBOK guide mapped directly to the PMP ECU. And that is where you will gain the raw materials, the tools, the techniques, the artifacts, and the skills that every PMP candidate must know. Still, just knowing these things will not be enough. What separates pass from fail is not process knowledge, but insightful pattern recognition. Spotting how PMI prefers you to think in tough scenarios. And that is where my PMP POVs will come in. They are not extra content. They are the invisible logic behind the PMP exam itself. And to help you hit the ground running, I am going to share the first 5 PMP POVs right now. These are not random. I have selected them very carefully because they will help you immediately as you begin the case study journeys. They reflect the most fundamental principles behind the PMI's perspective, and they will show up constantly across the PMP exam questions. And here they are coming up in the next slide. POV 001, Collaborative Planning. PMI expects you to include your team and stakeholders in all major planning activities. In the exam, if the project manager plans alone, that option is almost always wrong. Collaboration is not just good practice, it is the PMI standard. And this aligns with the different ECO tasks like plan and manage project scope, engage stakeholders, and build a team. POV 002, Tailor the PMBOK. The best answer often reflects a tailoring, using only what's needed from the standard processes. In the exam, the right answer usually is never follow the full process, and it is almost always adapt the process to the situation. PMI wants project managers to be thoughtful and flexible, never mechanical. This reflects the ECO tasks like determine appropriate project methodology and tailor based on project needs. POV 003, Act only with a plan. Avoid reactive answers. PMI always prefers actions grounded in some type of a plan, even under heavy pressure. In the exam, any impulsive or quick fix option without any context is always a trap. PMI wants you to assess, plan, and then act. This perspective underpins ECO tasks like manage project changes and execute with urgency while managing risk. POV 004, Team-Driven Estimates. PMI always favors involving the team or some subject matter expert in the estimation, not top-down guesswork. In the exam, if the PM estimates everything alone, be skeptical. PMI expects a collaborative bottom-up approach, especially so in agile or hybrid settings. This aligns with ECO tasks like support team performance and estimate project budget and resources. POV 005 build realistic plans, use historical data and expert judgment to create plans that reflect reality, not pressure. In the exam, saying yes to unrealistic demand is almost always the wrong move. PMI values professionalism and not heroism. This connects to ECO tasks like manage schedule, manage quality, and deliver project benefits. These 5 POVs are your starter kit. Use them like filters as you go through the case studies and process lessons ahead. Always ask yourself, what would PMI expect from me here? Which answer reflects the values we have just explored? Later in the course, once we have seen how the project plans succeed and fail, how teams respond to conflict, and how PMs must balance risk, change, and value, we will return once again to the full POV playbook. By then, the other 60 plus POVs will make perfect sense, because you won't just be learning what PMI wants, instead you will be thinking the way that PMI thinks. Let's begin.